Hey, welcome back to Waters Ironworks and another project. This is again a project from David Einhorn's Civil War Blacksmithing book that we reviewed a couple videos ago. It is a small pot rack, so I know this is already done, but through the magic of filming things out of order, we're going to jump back to the shop, we're going to make this, then we'll be back out here and we'll test it again. The idea is that this is a little foldable pot rack or pot stand that you can slip into your car, take with you easily, pull out into the campfire, pound it into the ground, move some coals under it and cook your eggs or something else in your cast iron pot. So let's go make it and then come back out here and see how well it works. I'll see you guys in the shop. All right, we are back in the shop, so let's take a look at how to make this thing. We're going to make it slightly differently than what David recommends in his book, Civil War Blacksmithing. He recommends two lengths, 18 inches long of 1/4 by 3/4 flat bar. You mark each one 6 inches from the end. I think the challenge with that, though, is that they would not fold up nicely into a long, thin line. So what I actually did was I cut one 18 inches, I cut one 20 inches. That way when these things fold up, they'll be able to go right on top of each other. Let's see how it works. So we're going to come in 6 inches from the end, and what I'll actually do is just make a mark on my anvil there. Flip them around. David also recommended that use an angle grinder or something like that to cut a point into it, and then you just knock the point over. Rather than doing that, this is pretty small stock. I'm just going to heat it up and put a point in it without doing the initial angled cut. So this is again one of those processes where it's the same thing over and over again. We'll go through the first one, I might make a few comments, and then the other three, you just do the same thing. I'm not going to comment on those. Edge of the anvil. There we go. My theory was it was probably longer to cut the metal and then knock it over than to just put a point on it. I'm going to quench this, flip it around, do the same thing on the other side here and on both ends of the other one. So we've got points on all four ends. We'll take a look down here. The next thing that we need to do is bend these over at each of these points to make the legs. And then we need to drill our holes and rivet them together. So let's get those bends in, and then we'll finish this project up. Nice quick little project. These are ready to go. I'm going to quench off the holdy end. It's still a little warm. Bring it to the edge of the anvil. Try and work it nice and reasonably square there. Flip it around, and same thing on the other side. And both sides on the other one. So again, there's nothing to this, right? You've seen it once. I'm not going to talk about the others as I do them. There we go. We've got the first one done. Finish up the second one here. Welcome back. We've got our holes drilled, and we've also got the material for our rivet cut. This is 1/4 inch stock. We cut this at 1 inch. The formula that we're looking for is we add up the thickness of our material, so 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, and 2 times the thickness of our rivet material. This is a 1/4 inch, so 2 times a 1/4 is a half inch here, 1/2 inch for the rivet material. We're going to heat this up, drop them in, and make our rivet. Tongs would be a good idea. This little 1 inch of material will get hot. Our rivet is hot, so we're going to pull it out in a second. I've actually got a rivet header. I haven't used it a whole lot, so I'm going to try that out from Blacksmith Depot. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch rivet size there. I'm going to line this up with the small one on the inside. Hopefully that'll stay okay. Let's grab our rivet. I've got a ball peen hammer here. We'll try and put this thing together. One of the challenges we're going to run into is this is pretty tightly riveted together. What we really need to do is heat it up so that we can flex it back and forth and loosen that rivet up. We'll see if I can get this into my forge or not. If I can, I may need to get the coal forge up and running to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna get the coal forge up and running, heat this up. All I'm gonna do is get it hot, and then I'm gonna work it back and forth so that this moves nice and smoothly. I'll do that off camera though, it'll take a little while, but I'll show you the finished product here in a second. Well, I am back. I actually wound up going to a little hand torch, heated the rivet up and knocked it around. It still sticks a little bit here, but it does open and close. So we now have a portable pot rest. So let's take this out to the fire pit in the neighborhood here, and we'll hammer it into the ground and see how it works. I will see you guys out there. Well, we are back out in my neighborhood's fire pit again to just take a look at what this little pot stand would look like. And there it is. So, I mean, it works, right? A pot will definitely sit on it. There's a couple things I think we could continue to do to improve this, right? Already off the original designs David had in his book, Civil War Blacksmithing, we changed the length of these so that they can fold together when you're traveling with it. The downside though that I'm seeing to that is when you've got it in the ground, this bar is up above this bar and it is not very stable. So making this a little bit bigger might help, but honestly it might work better as a non-foldable rack if you took these two and brought them up so that they were even with this bar and it was just a big flat plane that you couldn't fold. As it is right now, I mean, does it work? Sure. I don't know that I'm real happy with this. It's probably not something that I would feel safe trying to cook my my eggs in there with the danger of everything just slipping off since it's at an angle. But a good project, maybe one we'll revisit and see if we can continue to improve on it. Thanks so much, and we will see you again next week.